The man suspected of killing Nicholas Day is in court. We'll have the latest on his charges and what we know about the crime.
Plus, voters will head to the polls tomorrow to vote in the spring primary. We'll tell you more about the Wisconsin Supreme Court candidates on your ballot.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. This wintry weather making it difficult for drivers across south central Wisconsin.
This happened right outside of our station on Raymond Road this afternoon. No one was hurt, luckily, but a lot of viewers have been sending a lot of videos of crashes all across the area this afternoon. We have team coverage of the wintry weather with meteorologists Gary Canalti and Dana Fulton, and our Gabriella Becerra is keeping an eye on road conditions. But let's start first with your first warn forecast with Gary.
Well, Susan, this has been a very tricky storm to predict because temperatures have been so critical as far as precipitation types and if or when we will change over to rain. You can see on Doppler track, we've had steady snow through much of southern Wisconsin, but look where the leading edge of the rain is, just making it into far southwestern Wisconsin. So we actually may see our precipitation start changing over to rain for areas south of Madison, whereas from Madison northward, we'll see mainly snow and maybe even a little freezing rain mixing in as well. But those temperatures are so critical, and visibilities right now, half mile with moderate snow being reported in Madison, that thick, heavy, wet snow coming down fast enough. So even though temperatures might be slightly above freezing, it's still accumulating. And you can see here in Madison, we're right at the freezing mark. Janesville, a couple of degrees above. Wisconsin Dells, a degree below. So it just depends on where you are. But notice over southwestern Wisconsin, temperatures more into the lower to middle 30s. So that may start to make the difference where it starts to change over to rain, at least for a short period of time. Winter weather advisories officially are in effect north and west of Dane County, but I'll tell you, the conditions are still very slippery in and around Dane County through much of south central Wisconsin. Additional snowfall from where we are now, probably in the neighborhood of about 1 to 3 inches, mainly from Madison on north. Again, south of Madison, we'll probably see that mixture of rain and snow with little additional accumulation. Otherwise, look for the snow and rain to end later on tonight. Tomorrow, we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures will drop back into the upper 20s. The problem is, though, as temperatures drop below freezing, that could lead to additional problems. We've got Dana Fulton live on the patio right now. And Dana, we have an impact from this system as well because of the potential for some freezing precipitation as well.
We do. So you're right. Right now it is a very heavy, wet snow coming down. A lot of the main arteries have been able to stay clear, but still sloshy in spots. So the impact to your driving at a moderate level right now. Minor impacts to walking. Thankfully, our patio not too slick. It's slushy outside. If you didn't wear the right shoes today, socks are definitely going to get wet. But we don't have those icy conditions right now. As temperatures drop overnight and tomorrow being below freezing, icy conditions could be an issue on our sidewalks as well. And as you can see, over the next 48 hours, this is looking ahead overnight into your Tuesday, and then of course through Tuesday night, temperatures are really going to fall. We'll drop below freezing and then we'll stay below freezing. So as this all melts, this slushiness melts, we could be dealing with some thicker ice in spots. So that's something to keep in mind over the next few days. The impacts on our sidewalks clearing, this is going to be pretty heavy outside, and of course our roadways, where Gabby is live right now. But right now, we'll send it back to Susan and Eric at the desk.
Dana, Gary, thank you. Rush hour underway on the Beltline in Madison as drivers try to navigate through all these snow-covered roads.
Our Gabriella Becerra is live on the Beltline right now. Hi, Gabby. What's the latest on the road conditions?
Hi, Eric and Susan. We are heading west on the Beltline right now, heading up close to Mineral Point. And just in the past 10 minutes, the snow seems like it kind of lightened up out here, and road conditions are kind of getting better. But if you look off to the left there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a couple cars slid off onto the sides of the roads. It's very slushy out here, and visibility is getting better, but still not super great. Across southern Wisconsin, they're seeing similar weather conditions and similar road conditions with some slide-offs reported and snow-covered roads. But as you continue driving on that evening commute, it's getting a little bit better, but still something to be cautious about. But we'll keep you guys updated as the commute goes on. But back to you guys.
All right, Gabby, on the roads. Thank you.
We're learning more tonight about what led detectives to arrest Riley Berg for the murder of Nicholas Day, who was shot and his neck slashed while on a run in Blue Mounds last month.
And today, Berg made his initial appearance in court. Our Amanda Quintana was there and joins us with the new details. Amanda.
21-year-old Riley Berg is facing a first-degree intentional homicide charge and could be sentenced to life in prison if convicted. Today, $1 million cash bond was set. The criminal complaint revealed how detectives figured out that Berg was their suspect. Using surveillance video at Tyrrell Basin, on the day of the murder, they saw Berg's car pull into the parking lot, then leave a minute later. Video from gas stations, nearby shops, and the library showed Day on his run, and the timing matched up that Berg's car passed the homicide location on County Highway JG around the same time Day was killed.
This is an extremely violent crime where the victim was first shot at from a distance and then his throat was slit. We have DNA evidence of the victim in the defendant's vehicle, and to our knowledge, there is no connection between the victim and the defendant at this time outside of this crime.
Day's blood was found on the steering wheel, near the gear shift, and on the seat belt in Berg's car. Berg's father told detectives he'd been diagnosed with schizophrenia and is medicated, and that he hunts every day and has access to multiple firearms and a knife. What's still unclear is a motive. Berg told detectives that he had never met Day and he didn't even know who he was.
Amanda, thank you. Authorities are continuing to search for a missing UW-Milwaukee student from McFarland. The Department of Justice says 18-year-old Sean Bake was last seen Friday morning on campus. Officials say he has type 1 diabetes and is insulin dependent. UW-Milwaukee police say Sean and another student were using LSD early Friday morning. The other student began reacting badly to the drug before Sean ran out of a residence hall. Minutes before he was last seen, police say Sean texted his family, "I love you guys. I'm so sorry."
I hope he's alive. But as a police department, we obviously are exploring all of that, because even if somebody in a tragedy is deceased, then we need to find them.
Police are stressing there is no evidence of foul play in this case. Anyone with information is asked to contact UW-Milwaukee police.
The man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and her 2 daughters agreed to be sent back to Wisconsin to face charges. Police say 25-year-old Arzel Ivory killed his ex-girlfriend, 26-year-old Amara Banks, and her 2 little girls, one of them his own daughter. Left their bodies in a garage and then went on the run, eventually making his way to Memphis, where he allegedly confessed to his father, who turned him in. Amara's family members say they are heartbroken.
She was a very private person, though. Like, she wasn't like an outspoken person, a wild person. I'm just so hurt.
And police say they still do not have a motive.
The man convicted of drunk driving and crashing into the Beaver Dam Middle School has been sentenced. Court records show 22-year-old Roy Cortez will spend 2 years and 8 months in prison for the crash, along with 3 months of extended supervision. It happened in August. Police say Cortez drove into Beaver Dam Middle School, which caught on fire after Cortez hit an electrical transformer that was sending power to the building. The Dodge County District Attorney's Office says damages to the middle school are estimated to be over $2 million.
A Madison man was cited for causing injury by drunk driving after his car hit a 2-year-old girl. Madison police say that incident took place about 12:30 Saturday morning in the parking lot of an apartment complex in the 500 block of Northport Drive. The driver, 25-year-old Gerald Patterson, told police the child darted out in front of him and he didn't have time to stop. That girl suffered a cut to the back of her head and was taken to the hospital. The child's mother thought her daughter may have lost consciousness at the time of the impact. A sports equipment company announces it'll be laying off dozens of employees in Dane County. The Department of Workforce Development announced Riddell Sports Group, Inc. will be laying off 109 workers at its Collegetown, Sun Prairie location. DWD says the reduction is expected to happen on April 10th.
Tomorrow, voters will decide which 2 candidates will advance in a race that will help dictate the law in Wisconsin for the next 10 years.
Amy Reed joins us now to break down your 3 options here. Amy?
So tomorrow is the primary. That means that's the first round that narrows these 3 to 2. Here's a little taste of what they're like. All 3 candidates for the Wisconsin Supreme Court bring different experience and different politics. Current Justice Daniel Kelly and Dane County Circuit Judge Jill Karofsky have both accused the other of knowing how they'll rule before entering the courtroom. Karofsky frequently mentions her values of civil rights and rights for women and workers. She also says her kids are worried about gun violence, but maintains that doesn't mean she's made up her mind.
I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe that there are people people have a right to have guns in this country. However, I also believe that we need to be very, very smart when we are thinking about gun control.
Meanwhile, Kelly has been endorsed by the NRA. He's also posted pictures holding an AR-15. Before he was appointed to the court by former Governor Walker in 2016, filling in the remainder of someone else's term, he posted his opinions on same-sex marriage and the U.S. Supreme Court ruling on it, saying, quote, "The same-sex marriage movement, in truth, has never been about rights at all. It's been about using the power of the state to compel others to legitimize the same-sex couple's personal arrangements." He refused to clarify that position to us today.
My prior opinions, as I've expressed them, are irrelevant to the job that I do. So I would tell anyone from that community, they come before us, they can be completely confident. Their case is going to be resolved according to nothing but the law. Not my personal preferences, not my personal politics, but just the law.
The third candidate, 27-year Marquette University law professor Ed Falone, wants partisanship out of the race and says this election is about restoring neutrality on the court.
I am the only candidate who is keeping politics out of this and stressing affirmatively my qualifications as a law professor, experienced lawyer, and the way I can bring consensus to the court.
If elected, Falone would be the first Hispanic member of the court and the only person of color. Each one of these candidates has a long history, and we can't include everything on air, so you can find out more about them on our website. The primary is tomorrow. Only 2 of those people will move on to the general election. That's in April.
All right. A lot to think about. Good information for voters as they head out tomorrow. Amy, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. And if you plan on heading to the polls tomorrow, there are a couple of things that you should know before you vote. You cannot register online anymore, but you can still register in person, same day at your polling place, if you're not already registered to vote. To do that, you'll need a document that includes your full name and current address as proof of residency, like a Wisconsin license, a paycheck, or a utility bill. And then anyone voting, registered or not, needs a photo ID, a driver's license, Wisconsin ID, a military ID, or a passport, as long as the ID does not expire prior to the fall general election. For more details on voting, including your polling location, you can head to our website, channel3000.com.
Meanwhile, Democrats in Nevada are already casting early votes ahead of this Saturday's caucus. The newest poll there shows Bernie Sanders leading Joe Biden by 7 points, with 4 other contenders bunched up behind them. Most of them are focusing on a rival who won't be on the ballot. Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, the billionaire and former Republican, is getting hit over his record and his surge of campaign spending. Bloomberg's on track to spend more than $415 million on TV ads by Super Tuesday. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, world health officials give an update on coronavirus, what they're saying about the illness.
Plus, we'll tell you about a world record attempt that happened this weekend on a Wisconsin lake. That's coming up tonight at 6.
The latest lighting styles at Menards. Over 12,500 lights and ceiling fans are on sale. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. The Chantel collection features a satin nickel or matte black finish with frosted glass. This 5-light chandelier is $124.99. This Matrix 52-inch indoor-outdoor ceiling fan in a matte black and brushed silver finish has natural wood blades and an integrated LED light kit. $169.99. Find amazing deals right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I suffered with psoriasis for so long.
I felt gross. People were afraid I was contagious.
I was covered from head to toe. I was afraid to show my skin.
It was kind of a shock after I started Cosentix. I wasn't covered anymore.
4 years clear. 5 years now.
I just look and feel better.
See me.
Cosentix works fast to give you clear skin that can last. Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur.
I look and feel better with Cosentix.
5 years is just crazy.
See me.
Ask your dermatologist if Cosentix could help you move past the pain of psoriasis.
Don't miss your chance to see the 6-time Grammy Award-winning Irish band The Chieftains on their Goodbye Tour. Celebrate 57 years of music making in an unforgettable evening of music, song, and dance. The Chieftains, The Irish Goodbye, March 3rd. Tickets at overture.org.
Squeaky, creaky, leaky entry doors from big box stores should be ignored. Scott the window guy does entry doors. He can do yours and so much more.
We do entry doors at scottthewindowguy.com.
You call me devious, but you don't understand that all I am is a little mysterious.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Hi, folks. Hattie's got her eye on another blast of dangerous cold before things warm up in a big way by the end of the week.
And it is primary election day. We'll be live telling you whether you can expect long lines at the polls when we see you starting at 4:30.
We'll see you then.
Download the Channel 3000 First Warn Weather app today.
A plane carrying about a dozen high-risk Americans who were evacuated from a quarantine cruise ship off Japan arrived in Nebraska this morning. They'll be monitored at the University of Nebraska Medical Center for signs of coronavirus. They had been on planes that touched down at U.S. military bases in Texas and California overnight. State Department officials say only after passengers were evacuated from the Diamond Princess in Japan did they learn that 14 had tested positive. The World Health Organization says more than 71,000 cases of coronavirus have been diagnosed around the globe, but the latest data appears to show this virus is not as deadly as SARS and some other coronaviruses.
More than 80% of patients have mild disease and will recover.
Health officials are working to track down more than 2,000 passengers and crew members who were on board the Westernam cruise ship in Cambodia. They were allowed to leave after being given the all clear, but then an American woman who had been a passenger tested positive for coronavirus.
Flooding of historic proportions in Mississippi has forced the governor to declare a state of emergency. At least 4 people had to be rescued from their homes as the fast-rising waters from the Pearl River flooded entire neighborhoods. Officials urged caution because calm-looking waters could mask fast-moving undercurrents. The National Weather Service says there is more rain in the forecast, and they could get up to 2 more inches of rain, which could cause flash flooding in certain areas.
Meanwhile, the snow here in Wisconsin isn't stopping ice fishermen and women from getting out on the lake today. They say there's about a foot of ice on Monona Bay. On top of that is that blanket of white. One fisherman said they hop around to different holes trying to see where the fish are biting, and although today did start out a bit slow for Lisa Schwen, she says it's all about getting out there and enjoying the winter activities.
It's not too bad. We've caught 3 already, but bite is slow. They're a little hard to catch today, but it's better than working. It's an awesome day out here.
We know, Lisa, it's better than working. Schwen says the most important thing is staying warm out there. But, Gary, we've been dealing with some snowfall. Where are we looking at totals-wise?
Well, you know, it just depends on where you are. And this is a very tricky storm to predict, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But it has a lot to do with the temperatures and whether or not we're seeing a mix of precipitation. But as far as snowfall totals so far, we've seen as much as 5.5 inches in Evansville, 4.5 inches in Monticello, 4 inches in Shorewood Hills and Platteville, 3.5 inches here at the station, and just shy of 2 inches in Watertown. Initially, we thought the heavier snow would be north of Madison, the lighter snows to the south. The problem is there's more moisture to the south, and if temperatures are cold enough for snow, and they just were by a degree or two, that's where the heavier snow totals, at least so far, have been lining up. But as you take a look at Doppler track, here's the situation. We've seen mainly snow through much of the day here. Now notice as this is starting to lift to the north, we're starting to see some rain mix in farther south near the Mississippi River and near the Illinois state line. This next surge of precipitation may be in the form of rain or a mixture of rain and snow south of Madison. So I don't think we're going to see much in the way of additional accumulation here, and that may melt some of the snow that's already fallen. Farther to the north, this will start changing over to snow, so they might see another 1 to perhaps as much as 2 to 3 inches this evening. And you can kind of make out where that line is. Again, from Monroe over toward Platteville, south of Darlington. Mainly rain may start to be falling, but temperatures are going to be critical. I mean, a degree or two one way or another is going to make a big difference between whether you have a slushy, wet snow or just some light rain. Now, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Again, we're thinking about 1 to 3 inches more of snow this evening, mainly north of Madison. There also could be a little freezing rain mixed in as well. But for tomorrow, it'll turn breezy and colder. Temperatures will drop back into the upper 20s to around 30, and then very cold weather is expected still for Wednesday and Thursday. Nighttime low temperatures in the single digits above 12 and below zero, and daytime high temperatures only in the teens for Monday or for Wednesday and Thursday, which is about 15 to 20 degrees below normal for this time of year. As far as the impact from the snow, driving a moderate impact. We've seen a lot of runoffs. People are, they see the slushy snow, they think, it's not that bad. But the problem is that when you slide on the snow, it's actually you're hydroplaning, and the slushy snow traps water right near the road surface, so that makes it very slippery. Walking shouldn't be too much of a problem, even if there's a little bit of ice mixed in, because the snow gives you a little traction. Clearing, though, we're putting that in the moderate category, because this is a slushy, wet snow, and if you've got 3, 4, 5 inches of snow and you're trying to shovel that, that's what we refer to as a heart attack snow. So an alert day in the forecast for this evening for the snow, maybe even a little freezing rain mixed in north of Madison. Total snowfalls will be anywhere in the 2 to 6 inch range, depending on where you are. But again, mainly south of Madison, we're going to see a mixture of rain and snow, or maybe a little bit of freezing rain. Then, of course, the alert days in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday for nighttime low temperatures. Wednesday morning around 4 degrees and below zero, about 4 degrees below zero on Thursday morning, with wind chills down to about 10 to 15 below zero, and daytime highs both days only in the upper teens. Notice over the next 48 hours, those temperatures will drop below freezing and then stay below freezing for a while. So that slushy snow near the ground will probably melt and then, probably freeze and then stay there for a while. For tomorrow, we're back to partly sunny skies with high temperatures around 28, a little breezy. Here's that mixture of rain and snow lifting to the north tonight, and then everything clears out for tomorrow. Those temperatures drop or climb only in the upper 20s for tomorrow, drop off into the single digits by early on Wednesday morning, and struggle to get back into the upper teens later in the day. Again, additional snowfall about 1 to 3 inches, mainly north of Madison. Total snowfall probably going to end up in the 3 to 6 inch range through much of southern Wisconsin. The 2 inch amounts maybe over far south western portions of Rock County. 7 to 10 day forecast. Those cold temperatures midweek. A big warm up still on the way for the weekend with highs in the lower 40s. Next weather system starting out as rain and probably ending up as snow in the middle of next week. As we take a look at first warn traffic right now, here's the view of the Beltline at Park Street. And you see traffic moving very slowly, even where the traffic isn't quite as bad going in the eastbound direction. Traffic moving very slowly because of the wet and slippery road conditions. Right now we're seeing delays on the eastbound Beltline almost from Stoughton Road back to, well, almost to Whitney Way. Westbound delays start around Seminole Highway and go back to at least Monona Drive. As far as travel times right now, over a half hour in either direction between University Avenue and the interstate on the Beltline. If you're heading out of Madison down to Janesville, almost 40 minutes. That's normally about 25 minutes. So you can see how traffic is slowed down on I-3990 going southbound toward Janesville. 24 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 from Middleton, and 19 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 to Sun Prairie. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you.
Ahead on News 3 Now at 5. It's the oldest and largest parade celebrating the birth of our nation's first president. We'll have more on the Old Town Alexandria President's Parade after a short break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto is a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopco Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopco Optical. You'll see.
The Color Purple is the Tony Award winner for Best Musical Revival. A glory to behold. Experience what people are calling one of the greatest revivals ever. The color purple.
At Overture Center, February 18th through 23rd. Get your tickets today at overture.org.
The bladder control aisle. You won't shop here again. Your private business is your own. The constant struggle is over. Now there's a better way. It's HDIS. We home deliver bladder control products. We understand how you feel. For over 25 years, we've home delivered to many of the 20 million Americans who deal with incontinence. We offer all brands. We pay shipping and use plain, unmarked boxes. If we can help you or someone you care for, call for your free product sample pack and $45 in money-saving coupons. Our counselors will help you choose the right product. And unlike stores, we're always in stock. You'll get what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed. HDIS, the better way.
For your free sample pack with your free catalog, $45 in money-saving coupons, and free product samples, call 1-800-548-4176. That's 1-800-548-4176.
Every President's Day, residents in Virginia throw what's known as the largest parade celebrating the birth of our nation's first president.
The festivities date back to the Revolutionary War and take place just 10 miles away from George Washington's historic Mount Vernon home. Bofta Imam has the story.
Right, face.
Marshall Smith says he's been playing his role in history.
I've been doing Revolutionary War reenacting for, I'm going to say this real softly, 30 years plus.
This President's Day, he's captain of the 1st Virginia Regiment, driven to share its history, down to the slightest details.
This coat I made about probably 5 years ago. The buttonholes, since my eyes are not good these days, the buttonholes are probably the hardest.
It's that kind of passion that brings thousands to this patriotic event here in Northern Virginia, the oldest and largest parade that celebrates the birth of our country's first president, George Washington.
Alexandria loves historic preservation, and we love our roots. Some of them are not so beautiful, but they're our roots.
It's nice to see families and kids of all hues and, races, religions come out around an event that we can all celebrate.
The parade is a 1-mile route here along the historic streets of Old Town Alexandria. Thousands pack the streets this year for the theme, Selfless Service to Country.
I've been the official George Washington for 4 years now.
Local history teacher Brian Hilton had to interview for the role of the founding father. He says winning it gives him a chance to bring history lessons to life.
The history books, I don't think, do him justice. I want him to be more approachable.
Participants plan to take part in more festivities this weekend on Washington's official birth date of February 22nd. Bofta Imam, CBS News, Alexandria, Virginia.
Stay with us. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast when we return.
Think a recliner. You're thinking sofa. It's okay. Everyone wins at the President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture. Plus, for 3 days only, Saturday through Monday, get incredible doorbuster deals marked way down. The 3-day President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
President's Day means more savings at the Brothers Maine President's Day Super Sale. Get in right now for the sale of the season with more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We've got a lot more satisfaction for you at Maine, like up to 18 months 0% financing and free delivery to make life a little easier. Hey, there's more home satisfaction at the Moore store. The President's Day Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction today at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Pills. You crush them. Kind of. Kale. You eat it for breakfast. Sometimes. You go far to eliminate stubborn fat. But sometimes life gets in the way. Cool Sculpting takes you further. A non-surgical treatment that targets, freezes, and eliminates treated fat cells. For good. Discuss Cool Sculpting with your doctor. Some common side effects include temporary numbness, discomfort, and swelling. Don't imagine results. See them. Cool Sculpting. Take yourself further.
He's been a leader throughout the country for the past 12 years. Mr. Michael Bloomberg is here.
Leadership in action. Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws, to improve education, and to develop innovative ways to help teens gain the skills needed to find good jobs.
At a time when Washington is divided in old ideological battles, he shows us what can be achieved when we bring people together to seek pragmatic solutions.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
The new year is well underway. It's time to shake off the dust and get a jump start on your home improvement projects with Feldco. For a limited time, save 40% on our energy-efficient windows. And if you get your home windows replaced now, you can take advantage of no interest until 2021. This is an opportunity you don't want to pass up.
40% off and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
The world awaits in your new Jeep from Don Miller. It's the President's Day event on now. The tradition carries on with the new Jeep Wrangler. Get your own Don Miller deal plus rebates and incentives up to $5,500 off select remaining 2019 Jeep Wranglers. No day is the same in your new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. You'll get up to $2,000 bonus cash plus your own Don Miller deal on select 2020 Jeep Gladiators. The President's Day event on now at Don Miller, Madison and Dane Counties Jeep Headquarters, Odana Road, Madison.
Don Miller. He's thinking recliner. You're thinking sofa. It's okay. Everyone wins at the President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture. Plus, for 3 days only, Saturday through Monday, get incredible doorbuster deals marked way down. The 3-day President's Sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Gary's back. Final check. What's going on?
Watching the radar here, starting to see maybe a changeover to rain over far southwestern Wisconsin. So that would limit any additional snowfall totals, but it's still snowing pretty heavily across much of Rock County. So, you know, where's that rain snow line going to end up? Hopefully it'll start moving into some of those areas that have already picked up several inches of snow, but you can see half-mile visibility right now in Monroe and Madison, so it's still coming down at a pretty good clip there.
All right, CBS Evening News is next. We're back in a half hour. Be safe out there.